Okay, we need to talk about what might just be the biggest story to ever hit Wall Street, and maybe the future of space travel itself. I'm talking about the filing for SpaceX's absolutely monumental IPO. This isn't just another company going public. This is a multi-trillion-dollar gamble on where humanity is headed next. So let's get right into the numbers because they are staggering. First, just look at this number. $1.75 trillion. It's the kind of figure that almost doesn't feel real. It's just so massive, it's hard to even wrap your head around it. So what on earth does it actually represent? Well, that is the target valuation for what is set to be the largest IPO in the history of the world. I mean, this event is designed to completely shatter the financial record books. It's going to dwarf every public offering that has ever come before it. And yeah, that includes the massive debut of Saudi Aramco. So let's really dive into the specifics of this historic event. Internally, it's known by a codename that, honestly, is pretty fitting: Project Apex. The goal here? To raise $75 billion in new cash. That's more than double the old record set by Saudi Aramco. And with the absolute titans of Wall Street, we're talking Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, leading the charge, this is basically the Super Bowl of high finance. So the real question is, right, how can any company possibly justify a valuation this high? I mean, where does that number come from? To get the answer, you really have to look at the case for SpaceX being, well, an absolutely unstoppable machine. And this chart right here, wow, it just perfectly illustrates the foundation of their power. Just look at this. In 2025 alone, SpaceX launched 166 missions. That is more than every other space provider in the world combined. Their dominance isn't just a lead, they're playing in a totally different league. And all of that dominance, it's built on the back of the Falcon 9 rocket. This thing has an incredible, an insane 99.53% success rate. It's the super reliable, reusable workhorse that basically democratized access to space and built an entire empire. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The rocket business, it isn't even the main story anymore, not by a long shot. The true engine of SpaceX is Starlink. In 2025, it pulled in over $10 billion. That's almost 70% of the company's entire revenue. And that engine has built, well, a financial fortress. We're talking $8 billion in pure profit on $16 billion in revenue. That's a 53% net margin. That's a number that rivals the best software companies on the planet. And with 17 million subscribers and $22 billion in government contracts, SpaceX has dug this incredibly powerful, protected moat all around its business. Okay, so based on everything we've just looked at, the case for SpaceX seems completely airtight, right? Unbeatable. But what if it's not? What if there are some really deep cracks in the armor of this supposedly unstoppable machine? Which leads us to ask a really direct question. Is this company truly invincible, or is there a completely different side to this story that we need to look at? The first major issue is something you could call the Musk paradox. I mean, Elon Musk is, without a doubt, the visionary CEO and chief engineer. He is the company's greatest asset. But he is also, at the same time, its single greatest risk. He's running 5 other huge companies, there's no clear succession plan, and there's a history of key executives heading for the door. And the risk? It goes even deeper. Remember that 99% success rate for the Falcon 9 we just talked about? Well, get this. Starship, the rocket that is supposed to be the company's future, has a 45% failure rate in testing. The incredibly reliable present is kind of masking a dangerously volatile future. And there is so much more. There's a chaotic $250 billion merger with the AI company xAI, which Musk himself admitted, quote, was not built right. You have rising competition from Blue Origin and a Chinese space program that's advancing at a terrifying pace. There's a brutal regulatory war on 3 fronts, and there are even signs that the old workhorse, the Falcon 9 fleet, is showing stress from its relentless launch schedule. So this is where the two narratives smash into each other. Immense, undeniable success on one side, and unprecedented, company-threatening risk on the other. And it all comes down to the $1.75 trillion question. So why would you go public now with all these risks swirling around? Because this IPO isn't a victory lap. It's a high-stakes, all-in gamble to raise enough capital to try and solve every single one of its massive problems, all at the exact same time. And just look at the sheer scale of that challenge. They have to pull off the biggest IPO in history, integrate a massive and kind of messy AI acquisition, fix the fundamental reliability of their next-generation rocket, and fight a global competitive war. No company in history has ever even attempted to do all of that at once. Which really just leaves us with this final, thought-provoking idea that captures the tension at the heart of this entire story. History says no company has ever successfully done all of that at once. But then, no company has ever been SpaceX. And that right there is the multi-trillion-dollar question.